Alright, hello, welcome into the stream, y'all. Alright, another Sunday here, another toasty Sunday, the very last day of June. How are we all doing today? It's been a pretty good morning overall. I've been enjoying the fact that the Euros are back in action. Had a really good game earlier, to be honest. It only ended half an hour ago, that England versus Slovakia game. I'm gonna be honest. England, they're probably cooked in the next round against the Swiss, because that game was truly one of the worst games I've seen in a while from a non-US or Mexico team. So England's probably cooked. It took them till the 95th minute, but you know that's just how it be. England is very mid. I have on in the background Spain versus Georgia, and as much as I want Georgia to somehow clutch up and win, I have my doubts. However, while that's going on, we're going to be continuing our way through the Patriots season here on World of Tanks. I know I've done this this is what now, I think the third or fourth straight weekend in a row that we've been doing World of Tanks. But that's just because of the fact that I really want to get done with this season. There are still 22 days left in the season. I'm on stage 65, which overall isn't too bad of progress. Just takes a couple more days of actually sitting down and playing. Thankfully, this week coming up ahead, I should actually have a lot more free time to actually progress my way through this. So, depending on how this things go this week, the next time I do a multiplayer stream, it might be like X-Defiant, it might be the new season of Overwatch. That really depends. However, I will say right now, just so that way for y'all right now already here, next Sunday I will not be having a stream. That is because I'll be moving out of my current apartment into a house, and so that is going to be a very, very busy day, going to be very, very tired, not going to have the time to do a multiplayer stream next Sunday. So already going to make that known. More than likely, I would dare say that within 2 weeks, next multiplayer stream will not be a World of Tanks stream, just because I should hopefully already be done with the season. As for challenges, right now, you got Canada Day going on, chest earner, might as well try to get the last one. British medium tanks are on track for now. I did complete the entry fee to the Tank Fest. I got the duplicate Tiger 131, and so I got the silver value out of that, which was nice. I have even more silver for my 45 million. Seasonal challenges, I'm almost done with week 2 and 3's challenges. However, I am getting some good progress on these next couple of weeks. And then contract-wise, I've still been very slow in progressing with the AMBT. I still need to do 2 more battles where I deal 1.5 times my health, and I need to destroy another 7 vehicles. So overall, not too rough to get through stage 5. Hopefully, maybe today could get through stage 5 and get into stage 6 of the AMBT contract. That would be pretty nice. However, since that means more mediums, we're going to be continuing on with our tier 7 mediums to start, of course, with the Panther. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, El Haloof, everyone's favorite camper map. Had to toggle a setting real quick. For whatever reason, the party had me speaking in game chat, which I don't understand half the time. And so out of all the tanks I have, to be honest, one of the tougher tanks to get over that 1.5 times is the Panther. It's got 1270 health, which is a pretty high amount for a medium tank at tier 7, to be honest. And then even though it's got a really good gun, the penetration on this gun is super good. The problem is that the individual shots, the damage you can get is a little bit all over, a little bit more inconsistent. So that means I'm going to have to really be landing shots if I want to get, at least 1200 health, or well, damage against. It is a tier 7 battle, which is nice. That is one thing I've been happy that the Tiger 131 Urnop has been doing. It's made the matchmaking a lot nicer to a degree to be a tier 7, because there are so many people who just got the Tiger 131, they want to, you know, take it out for a spin. And so that's kind of actually adding a bit more vehicles into the tier 7 spread, which I am absolutely happy for. The double Artie battle, which is not as good of a start to say the least. Alright, already killed one of the light tanks as per the usual. And there goes the other light tank, so that's good. Both of their lights, both their scouts are already gone. Don't really want to push up without any backup. Who else is over here? Fury and a Tiger. I can work with that now. Alright, so thankfully my tracks ate that shot from the Leo. Ah, artillery already focusing me down. Oh, I got the SMV over here, and his armor is pretty trolly, to be honest. There we go. What are their Arties? Crusader SP and a Bert the Avenger. That's not good, actually. That's pretty awful. That means we're going to have a pretty rough time because the Arties are going to be effectively spamming every couple of seconds. FE304, the Bert the Avenger, that sucker fires off shots so fast. And depending on which gun the Crusader SP has, he's also going to be firing pretty often. Ammo rack shot, nice. Oh, if I've been tracked. Oh, you're kidding me. Left him with 49. That's kill, but that's rough. Turret damage isn't great, but I can work with that. Ooh, I forgot about you. Yep, ouch. Forgot about that T-29 right there. God, leave me alone, artillery. There you go. Ah. Bounced. $53. Oh my goodness gracious, dude. The low rolls on this gun today so far have been a little bit annoying. Ah. I'm glad this KV-3 is ignoring the heavy tank right behind him. And that heavy just got absolutely shredded by artillery. Come and get me, KV-3. I ain't peeking around that corner, not with frickin' the double British artillery chilling. Aha. Come on, SMB, help me out. He's like, no, please. Please, no. That's too good. Made the mistake of coming out against me, bro. God, these stupid artillery. I'm not moving, bro. You can chill right there. I'm not peeking as long as these artillery are staring me down. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, that tells me that Bert the Avenger's in the middle part of the map. That FE304 is in the middle part of the map because I know the FE304. That thing does not have good range. actually got to use my speed to my advantage here. Alright, so we're good. So now all that's left is Crusader, the Hellcat, and that stinking FV304. Oh, there's the Pretty Avenger. Let me fix up my turret so that way I can actually get behind him. Another low roll, 21 health. There we go. There's Hellcat, what's up? Ouch. Ramming speed. Ooh, shit. Alright, there we go. Ah, we love a good ram. That was a good battle. Good opening battle for the day in the Panther. And gets me the MVP. I'll take that 100%. That was a very good way to open up the day. Piscucci's medal for killing an Artie, Fire Perfect Duelist, and Mastery Badge too. I'll take that. Alright, earn XP, destroy 3 enemies. Yippee! Stage 65 complete with a really small booster, but that's fine. And so now onwards to the T-43. I don't know why I keep running premium fire extinguishers on some of these lower tanks. I never use them, and I'm gonna be honest. One of the things I wish that was on PC that would come to console is the consumable system. I think that PC has a significantly better consumable system, because like on PC, right, you know, the basic repair kit, you use it, it repairs only one part of your tank, but it recharges. You get multiple uses every single battle of that repair kit. I like that significantly more than the current system on console, which is the old system where, you know, actually no, this isn't even the old system. This is just this system is just not that great, to be honest. You use your repair kit and it fixes everything, sure, but then you don't get another one. And the only way to get rechargeable is to use the premium one. And to be honest, it's not a great investment, because when you're in, you know, even when you're up in higher tier battles, you don't usually survive long enough to be able to use a repair kit, a premium repair kit, twice in a battle. Same with like a premium, you know, med kit and so on and so forth. It kind of sucks. So like, to be honest, you know, I'm over here hoarding like copious amounts of repair kits and premium repair kits and med kits, because they're just not that helpful. They're not. You just don't live long enough, and you know, I think like it's a good balance that way that PC has it, where you just repair one thing, which, you know, do I miss the old repair wheel from this game's early life part of the life cycle? Not really. The early repair wheel was definitely very rough. Okay, dude, could you stop driving? But, you know, I do wish that we had that PC adaptation of it, because it would be nice just to be able to... Oh, the artillery drowned himself, right? Let's go. You know, I was just saying, you know, it'd be nice, because that's a quality of life improvement. This system's not the worst, but I think it is significantly worse, because there are a lot of battles where you can survive long enough to need multiple repair kits. But, you know, you end up just not surviving long enough, or you end up having to blow through them. Okay, so this is a bad situation, because the guys over here are pretty thickly armored and will withstand my shots without breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, if I try to take a shot at them, they're gonna just batter me back. Black Prince Chi-Ri, I can definitely put up a fight against those guys. My bad. Chi-Ri's gone, killed by artillery. Tells me that Black Prince is right there. Has been spotted again, though. Yep. Oh, no, it's one of their light tanks for some reason. Oh, dear. They're pushing this flank. Hey, Gardo, you might want to turn around. And he is completely ignoring the incoming threat. Ah. Just got behind cover. Yeah, that's Sturmpanzer's making a very bold choice, to say the least. Okay, shotgun someone, but he's probably gonna die. I need to kill him. Nope, he's just using the speed to get away. And there I go. Dang it, got away. Well, we're still in a position to win this one at the very least, but I'll take it. And well, if there's any football fans in attendance of the stream right now, Georgia are somehow up 1-0 over the Spanish. He looks onside. That looks like that's going to be a good goal. He's still onside there. Wow. And what do you look at that? An own goal yet again. Well, you know what? Georgia's not complaining at all. They get the lead. And you know what? I will take that. I love me a good underdog story, and Georgia looks to be that underdog story. And there's the win. Didn't do a whole lot, to be honest. I'm not surprised, though, because, again, I have a very love-hate relationship with this tank. But I'll take a win. I still got a Mastery Badge Class 3, which really tells me that the bar... Oh yeah, Canada Day, I got a beaver emblem. The bar for doing good in the T-43 is not that high, evidently. Once again, swapping out this stupid fire extinguisher. Just give me the normal one. Let's go T-34-1. So we got one on step. And another tier 8 battle. So, you know, just when I go on praising the matchmaking spread for being a little bit nicer to me because of all the people running Tiger 131, I immediately regret that, because now we're back to getting tier 8'd, which is still not the worst. It's just a little rough when you're one of 3 tier 7s on your own team, aka one of 6 tier 7 tanks in a tier 8 battle. one's pushing the east, which is not surprising. That side of the map is pretty rough to push against if you're spawning on the southwest corner like we are. You just got no cover to go push the guys when they're going to already be hull down. So Tiger 2 and a Tiger P already spotted going this way, which isn't that great. Those are two very, very tough tanks. Oh, hello there, crows, chilling in the bush. I don't know what this Yag Panther is doing exactly. Okay, we're just having a certified disaster class over here. I'm next to this Tiger, but I'm using the fact that I'm a little too short for his gun barrel. Height, height. Use my height and my mobility to keep trolling him into bad shots. No, this is bad. Yep, there we go. Oh, I missed the shot on the tracks. Somehow bounced a shot. That's fine, as long as he can't hit me. Well, he got me, but everything in this corner fell apart so rapidly. I somehow bounced a 360 damage shot off the turret. I have no idea from who, but I would assume, you know, probably like maybe the VK100 or at least the Patriot. That was a disaster class. I'm not mad though, because it was actually very entertaining. Oof. This guy's in a bad spot because he has no cover from whatever tank destroyers took out half his health in one shot. Ramming speed didn't take any damage, but the Tiger P is too thickly armored to exactly get a successful ram off against. Now they're just beating this, yeah, they're just kicking this one little guy to death. So good job on this flank. The only problem is there's only two guys on the south to defend the base, so those guys are going to have to fight for their lives, because they're more than likely not going to get any backup. Alright, well now with the death of the tank destroyer, there's completely nobody on the south side to defend the base, so our guys need to start pressing the base or we're losing this one. I wonder when the supposed storms are supposed to come in. Don't really see anything on the radar that would tell me that a storm is supposed to hit at like 2, but you know, the weather here can just change on a dime, and so gonna be keeping an eye on that, because funnily enough, you know, I haven't noticed the connection get too bad when the big storms hit. That might just be a credit to how good the internet is here, but usually I'm used to the fact that if storms kind of sit on top of me for a while, that I'm supposed to lose all my, I'm supposed to get like really bad connection. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. I do plan to keep this going, the stream going, for a good 3-4 hours or so. And so if the storms interfere with that, you know, we may end up ending a little bit early. I'll keep that in mind. But for now, I'm not seeing anything, and we should be good to go for at least a good 2 hours or so. Now, the last two guys are a pesky AMX 50-100 and T25. And there they are, stuck on the south side. Took out the Centurion, but AMBT finishes him off. And gets the double kill, nice. One other so-so battle from my somewhat okay tier 7s. So now it moves us on to the Chi-Ri. I forgot to switch out the fire extinguisher, but then again I don't really deal with fire extinguishers too much, so should be fine, but I should really make it a point to swap out the fire extinguishers. Alright, Ruinberg, which is a pretty good map for brawling. And it's a tier 7, I can work with that. I think I also noticed that I did pick up another battle where I got 1.5 times my health. That was definitely with the Panther. Which then again, I did get a 3-kill battle, so that makes sense. Let's see if I can be effective here on this map as a top tier Chi-Ri. I do really like this tank, to be honest. It's a pretty solid one. I know I can still mess with the other version of the same gun, the 3-shot auto-loader. I just don't know, to be honest. I still like this, because it still is a on the net, slightly higher DPM, because it's able to fire more rapidly overall. I think if I had like the perk for faster reloads, I would maybe experiment with the 3-shot autoloader, but you know, for this tank, nah. I will say though, this thing is kind of inconsistent for brawling. The turret front is not really that strong when it comes to trying to be a brawler. And then also it's a very, very boxy front, which makes trying to bounce shots very hard even when you're angling. Already we got an M6, which isn't a very good brawler, to be honest. It's a very easy to penetrate tank. No, dear. So thankfully that KV2 shot just missed. Tiger 131 died a fruitless death, and yep, ouch. Son of a gun. Alright, everyone needs to beat up that KV2 when he's on that reload. Already lost well over half my health in that one shot to the KV2. Somehow picking up spot assist, which I'm not quite sure how. Ah, gosh, a Tiger P. Sturdy, sturdy bugger. Well, hello there, Shaz. Welcome back to the stream. Hello there, T34-100. You're getting a little bold. Oh, dear. Ooh, okay, KV2 missed his shot again. Oh, dear. Ouch. Okay, I'm in a bit of a bad spot, because if that KV2 reloads, he's definitely going for me. So I'm going to actually back off, because I am not about to try to throw hands with the KV2 right now. Oh, why? You can fight him. You know what? Well, yeah, that's alright. You missed out a pretty good battle with the Panther, which is usually how it starts, to be honest. 2 mediocre battles, one with the T43 and one with the T34-1. Right now I'm using the Chi-Ri, and as you can see I'm already almost dead because I ate a KV2 shot right to the face. We also appear to be losing this battle. Oh dear. Yep. Yeah, there was no way of surviving that situation. Even though it's not the best gun you can slap on the T-29, it's still a very beefy gun. Yeah, it was a pretty fun battle with the Panther. I was able to do pretty effectively. I got a ramming kill on a Hellcat because ramming speed on that Panther is way too much fun. Ramming with a Panther hull is only okay when you're in a Tier 7 battle and you are the actual Panther, not the Panther 5-4. Nice! Pretty good time overall, last few days. Tier 9 check heavy and the best tank in the game. That is always a win, honestly. Glad to hear that your journey's been going well. I'm still doing alright. I didn't play a whole lot this week yet again. I did play, though, a couple of days ago, made a little bit of progress. But, you know, we're back on here. I'm a little bit closer to finishing off Stage 5 of the AMBT contract, which I'm very happy with. I just need another good little battle to get done with it. But right now, another Tier 8. And their artillery is the M40, M43, which is zoinks. Best tank from a chest. So you got a good spin on the tank war chest, didn't you? My 2 hits in the tank war chest from the chest earner op have been pretty bad. They've just been a bunch of boosters, which I'm okay. You know, I can appreciate some boosters. But when I know there's actual tanks to be gotten from those war chests, I'm just disappointed every single time. But I'm also not surprised, because after all, loot boxes are meant to be, you know, predatory. From the last one, the Tyran. Maybe, just maybe, that means when I get my last one, I will get a tank. Maybe I'll have similar luck in that regard. If so, that'd be fantastic. If I could get a nice tank from it. But if I get more boosters, I'm just going to be disappointed. And a little annoyed, but that's just... It's gonna be the let's go gambling meme, you know what I'm saying? Let's go gambling. Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it. Maybe you get the AVRE. And of course, right now, you know, I got the Euros still going on in the background. Hello there, Comet. How are you doing? I have spotted a lot more people than I want to fight, actually, right now. Bye-bye. That's a kill. Alright, Tiger 131. Actually, those are vehicles I'm happy to fight. It's not really gambling. You're not paying anything other than 10 gauge. No, that's fair, but the problem is that they, you know... The reason why they're doing that challenge is to make it look like they're being nice, but in reality it's just trying to, you know, make people think like, oh, you know, I can get a tank from these chests, so they encourage you to buy it, and that's when you're starting to gamble. Can someone else please shoot this guy? He's just chilling here, happy to be taking shots off the lower glacis. Nice, their Tiger B just killed himself. Okay. So Guardian STG got the kill. Oh dear. Yep, that's not good. Alright, time to boogie on out of here. And I did not boogie on out. I did, in all honesty, put myself into a really bad spot. Well, Shaz, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Euros ever since Croatia got eliminated, but we've had some pretty good games today, to be honest. Actually, some pretty good games in the knockout period. Oh. Right now, I'm happy to see that Georgia is somehow up 1-0 on Spain. Of course, it was off an own goal, but you know what? Anything can happen. I will be happy if I can see Spain take a hilarious upset loss. Slovakia almost had it against England earlier, but they just could not hold on at the very end, which was devastating. Yeah, we're not here for an economics philosophy discussion. We're here to have fun. Oh, man. This is looking like a solid battle. All these guys are just clumped up together. Just gotta push in and get a couple kills. Now that Type 59 is going to try to be sneaky out on that very edge of the map. Y'all, there are 3 of you. Please just push these guys. They literally... So there's the Winds of Arrakis who's a threat because he's got full health. But you got, like, one guy who's almost dead. That AMPT just got to get in there and do some damage. I also don't understand why this E75 is just being so, like... There you go, get a kill. It's like, you have the health to spare, go brawling, bro. Tiger 131's almost dead, however at the cost of our Tiger 131. And there goes our Tiger 131 from that brawl. Now what our 45 TP needs to do is help this guy out, get around him, and force the Winds of Arrakis to do something. Yeah. Taking a little bit too much time. There you go. So now 45 TP, not afraid to brawl, as he should be. He dies, but he took some good health out of the Winds of Arrakis. So this E75 can't let him get away with it, though. That's exactly what he's going to do, because I don't know what he's doing. Bro is just peacing out. What are you doing? Alright, good shot. Alright, dude. You took the damage off the track. Go charge him. Finish him. There you go, finally. So now they just have to find... Oh, well, never mind. They know exactly where the last 3 guys are. They just all ganged up on the T-42. IS-22. I don't know how much health he has. The Type 59 I know is actually almost dead. And then the Jagdtiger 8.8 centimeter is going to be a very dangerous opponent. No, Spain have tied it up. Yeah, just was fine with getting shot in the back. No thoughts, head empty. Well, he found himself a bad situation to be in. IS-22's got a decent amount of health. Just got to get that one last shot. And what did I just watch? What? What in the? What in the goddamn? Well, that was a special, I guess. Oh man. Well, we went from a winnable battle to probably not winning now, because after all, this E75 just had a massive potato brain moment. Maybe his fish drowned. He had to go help it. Oh my gosh. No way, man. I also don't know what this guy's doing. He, I guess he's trying to spot, but the problem is that he's also effectively just a Swedish Centurion tank, and he can take some shots off the turret, but he can't allow himself to be all the way in the open. He needs to use cover. Nice. It looks like a really good tank, to be honest. Nice. Good shell velocity, can always appreciate that. Make it where you don't have to lead your shots as hard. Oh, that's unfortunate. Type 59 eats the shot on the track, but finishes him off. And so now he's got to try and hunt down the IS-2 as well as that Jagdtiger. Though I really do worry about how much health the Jagdtiger has left. I have not seen him all battle. So for all we know, he's got full health, and that means you're going to have a real hard time killing him. We know that the IS-2 does have half health, which is good. That is fair. Very rarely do you get a premium tank that's as objectively bad as like what is it, like the T-40 something, that one tier 8 that we battled with like a while ago. That's just garbage, but the reason why it was garbage is because they gave it out for free. Where are these guys? Nope, and one of them is back in the base again. My hunch is it's gonna be the IS-2 maybe that's in the base. I just have no idea where like this enemy team is slowly crawling around at. Oh, yep, it's the IS-2. Bro has no stealth. Yeah, you gotta convince people that premium tanks aren't just all a gimmick for making money, but then they're totally a gimmick for making money. It's the free-to-play mantra, baby. I hope he spotted the Jagdtiger, and of course the Jagdtiger's in a really good position to protect the IS-2. So he's doing the smart thing, he's putting that rock between him and the Jagdtiger. Oh, that's unfortunate. 46 health left. And that turret, yeah. Good luck penning the IS-2 to turret. That thing is absurdly sturdy. So at this point, he might be trying to play out the draw. But the only way he's going to actually win by a draw is if he were to somehow kill the IS-2 too. And also do a lot of damage to that Jagdtiger. Because the thing is, I think it's dependent on like how much damage is done over the course of the battle. And right now, he's got 254 health, so he's absolutely, his team is not, our team has not done enough battle to win by draw. So he needs to kill. So there's the IS-2. But he's focused on the Jagdtiger, and he did take some health out of him. And somehow the Trax ate the shot from the Jagdtiger. Bounce shot, bounce shot. IS-2 is coming for the flank, so he should kill the IS-2. There you go. And now, draw. So we definitely, I think we lost. Yeah. We lost just because of the fact that the IS-2, not the IS-2, the Jagdtiger had 200 more health than him. That was a close one. Yeah, always take at least a couple of high explosive rounds just to try and kill someone. That one got a little bit close. Primo Victoria did a good job to nearly clutch it up, but he had himself such a bad situation. Well, this time got a tier 7 battle in Heilbronn, which is an okay map. I do have my worries that my team, being on this side of the map, is going to do what most teams do on this side of the map, which is sit back and camp instead of actually pushing. Oh, I just noticed it's a double artillery battle. Both of their artillery are French, which... You know, it's been so long since I've played with French artillery. I don't really know what their... I don't really know what the characteristics are for French artillery anymore. If I remember correctly, they're pretty decent, to be honest. I think they're mostly known for having a good wide firing arc, so that makes them a bit of a problem for trying to get up close and personal against, because they can just shotgun you. Tier 5, hopefully, yeah. Immense amounts of foreshadowing in the chat. Let's go. Might as well try to take the snapshot of the Calio. I somehow spotted the T-20. Oh, shoot. This is a bad spot to get into. That Crusader is firing APCR. That's funny. There are a lot of people on the side. Nope, I'm not. Won't be catching me lacking right there. Bounced a shot, I'll take that. Yeah, there's a lot of people over on this side. What's up there, Crusader? How you doing? I think there's also a tank destroyer nearby. Oh, there is. There he is. Everyone, please focus your fire on this Hellcat that's doing something special. Okay, so Artie has me pretty much dialed in over here. Ammo rack, that was a good hit. Blew his repair kit on it. Ah, yeah. Wasn't gonna really survive there. All my support was sitting back. And then the Tiger 131 just got a major overkill on that Panzer IV. Bro had 16 health left, gets an ammo rack detonation. Well, at the very least, I didn't get killed by artillery. I got killed fighting in a good brawl, but not great. A 4.5k damage assisted in a heavy yesterday. That is really good. Were you like doing a bunch of spot assists? Or were you just tracking everyone and taking advantage? Spotting. No, that's pretty good. You know, sometimes I've had in the past good spotting assist battles with heavies as well. Because like the thing is if you're fighting, if you're getting up in the front line and you're just brawling with everyone, you can rack up the spotting assists real fast. As long as your team's in a position to help you out. And that's always fun to do. Okay, you know what? You're boring, Tiger 131. Let's see what the other Tiger 131's doing. Bro is literally just camping back at spawn. There's the last two guys pushing up on the spawn. Spotting and tracking, to be honest, at the end I had 2 health and they only had tank destroyers, so I just completely YOLO'd and spotted them all so my team could kill them. You know what? That's fair. If you have, you know, that little health and you're like, you know what? I just need to find where everyone's at so my team can just rip into them. Do what you gotta do. As long as you have an actual battle plan, you know. Not like light tanks who just YOLO at the beginning of battle and just immediately get nuked because they had no idea what they were actually doing. Well, the last guy is a T-150 that hasn't been spotted in a while. Oh, there he is. He's all the way in the corner by the town. And there we go. Solid win. I'll take it. I lost money on that one, somehow. Oh man, you know it's almost 4th of July here in the United States when I'm getting commercials for fireworks right now while the Euro halftime show is going on. That is actually hilarious. Yippee, gold. So that gets a little chuckle out of me, seeing a commercial for literal fireworks. Alright, so next, going to be the T-34-100, our very big meme boy that tends to be very madly inconsistent on whether or not I'm going to have a good match or a terrible experience. And then the Leo and P-43 Tur, which are pretty solid. Siegfried line, and it is a Tier 7 battle. I'll take it. Yippee, let's go. Oh, I completely forgot that there's tank traps right there. Obligatory light tank running around in the very middle of the map. Except, of course, it's one of those wheel, unarmored cars, so it's going to be even more annoying. There's a couple more light tanks just pushing. That's a trio of light tanks. Actually, this is the first time in a while I've seen a battle with more than like 2 light tanks. It's a 4 light tank battle. Kind of wacky. But this Panther has made a great mistake by pushing out by himself. Lit him on fire. Let's go. This Panther is just getting slowly kicked to death because he decided to push by himself into a flock of light tanks. There we go, get rid of you. Alright, so that T-52 is just going to be a fool. That's what he's going to be. I'll take a couple of kills already. KV3 Absolution. Those guys are not exactly fun to fight, but gonna have to do it. Yeah, I knew he was gonna wait, but some gun. Trying to get rid of that T-37. Please kill him, he's lost his tracks. There we go. What else they got back there? Yag Panther? Okay. Nah, but he pushed too early. There we go. Good hit on the tracks. Stinking T-37 still somehow alive. Oh, that's an AT-8. He's gonna be a stinky little son of a gun. That's a good hit. There's Absolution back there. Hopefully they can kill a Yag Panther. I think he's got a damaged ammo rack, which is going to make him a little bit less effective. The AT-8 is going to be a stinker. Oh, you're kidding. And that shot hit off of my T-21. Come on, please kill that Yag Panther, bro. There you go. Ah, gun depression. So that Absolution can go ahead and fight for that all he likes. What we need to do is kill that AT-8. There we go. Now we can take on the Absolution. Okay, I'm actually having a really good battle in this sucker right now. VK-45. I'm not gonna mess with the VK-45. I'm gonna go see if I can hunt some artillery. There's another T-34-100 way out yonder. Yep, there's the Arty. And he's vanished. First time T-43's been spotted all this match, so I'm going to assume he was probably AFK, to be honest, and just got back into the fray, because if he's been sitting over here at spawn all battle. You know, if he wants to run away, that's fine. I don't have the gun depression to fight him. He doesn't have the gun depression to fight me either, so... Oh, he's using the derp gun. That's actually advantageous for me, because... this sucker, doesn't have good gun depression on that gun. So as long as I just keep him above me, that's fine. Oh, you're kidding me, Gabe. 74 health left? I don't know what you hope to accomplish there, buddy, but I'll take a 5th kill. Come on, fight me. Where are you, artillery? I want to get that Pascucci's medal. I have done 23 penetrating hits this battle with this thing. Ah. There's no way the Arty's in that corner, bruh. Unless he just, like, stealth 100'd. No, yeah, he's right over here. No. Let's go. That was actually one of my best battles ever, and of all tanks, the T-34-100. 6 kills, 3,800 damage in the T-34-100. Wow. Well, that was an unexpectedly insane battle I got in this. An ace tanker, Pascucci's medal, fire for effect, Top Gun, high caliber, and the Bruiser. That is actually an insane battle. Wow. I am actually floored. That is... I was not expecting to just do that in the T-34-100, but wow, once in a blue moon you get a battle where your tank just absolutely pops off. My goodness. Woo! That was fantastic. Alright, back to the garage, but yippee, that was a heck of a battle. I'm happy with that. And in that battle alone, I finished off the AMBT contract, Stage 5. Another Canada Day completion, and another stage of Patriots done. Yippee. Well, I am absolutely happy. I am pretty happy after that one. My goodness. Wow, okay. Oh boy, next stage will give me, what will it give me? It'll give me a Sergeant War Chest. I still need a couple more battles. I still need 7 more battles to get the chest earner final chest. I swear I've done more. Well, actually, no, never mind. I swear I've done more than just 2 battles today with 1,000 damage, but okay. And so the next stage of the AMBT, 79,200 XP, which is not bad at all, and 230 penetrating hits, which is also not that bad. So I think this is a stage that's probably going to be going by pretty quickly, to be honest. However, next, the Leo, where I'm currently still working on, halfway through the 10 centimeter Can M34 gun. Tragic news. The Spanish have taken the lead against Georgia. It's now 2-1 in the Euros. We can't allow this to happen. I want to see the meme run. I want to see someone I want to see someone get that Cinderella run. And yeah. So tier 8 battle on Mountain Pass, which isn't the best, but you know what? We'll take it. So something I noticed about the Leo now that I've been able to play it a little bit more is this thing is kind of like a halfway between a light tank, halfway between a medium tank. It kind of gives me vibes like the Cromwell, not Cromwell, the Comet, because it's got a lot of speed when it needs to kick it into gear, and it's got a decent gun that fires right now pretty quickly. So it does give me, to a degree, Comet vibes. I'm boogieing on out of here, nerd. Italian autoloader moment. That was just a bad situation to get into. If that was any other, like, tank, I think I would get out of that with not literally losing most of my health. But unfortunately, it was an Italian autoloader, so that was going to be a viciously painful situation. Black Prince and IS already taken a beating. Track damage, not great. There we go. Beat him up, y'all. Oh, I missed the shot on the Bulldog. Dang, that thing has some good accuracy on the run. Especially, I would assume he's probably got some of the perks for that kind of situation, but he got those shots despite the fact he was bouncing all over the place. Sorry, swapping the batteries on the controller as the previous set were dying out. Well, at the very least, the good thing is that the team on the north side is just completely smacking the crud out of the rest of the team. Yeah, it definitely looks like we're getting a win here, which I'll 100% take. See, like, I keep checking the weather, right? Because right now we have a literal flood warning. Like, it's saying, yeah, anytime between, like, an hour ago and almost midnight tonight, we're supposed to get, like, so much rain that it could potentially flood. And I'm just, like, sitting here, I'm like, I don't see anything. But that really tells me that we're probably going to get a storm that's just going to kind of sneak up on us. And it's going to go from being, like, bright and clear and everything like it is right now to just like on a dime, thunder and lightning. Because that's just kind of the way it's feeling, and I'm like, well, it's taken forever for these storm clouds to even appear, but that don't mean that they're not gonna. Oh, I must have earned a day of premium, because yippee. Wasn't the best battle, I'll admit, but you know what? Not too bad in the Leo. So now that gets us up to the P-43 Tur. Already almost done with our Tier 7 medium tanks for the day. Right now working on trying to get a better suspension. One thing I am glad about, even though I didn't get the Tiger 131 because I already owned it, I'm always happy to get my hands on another free garage slot, because that just gives me, you know, room to start another line if I want to. which I might end up... Actually, no. I don't know if there's any alternate tank lines I would want to mess around with just yet that I already don't have started. I think, if anything, it would be maybe like the Swedish tanks, because I know like at the Leo is when the line splits out. That's when you start getting to, I believe, the Swedish heavies versus Swedish mediums. Another tier 8. However, there's a lot. It's a lot more even of a spread. There's more medium. There's more tier 7s in this one compared to like one I had earlier. One thing I'm looking forward to though is getting to the Italian autoloaders. Just try to, so that way you can actually experience the whole gimmick of Italian autoloaders. Once again, I continue to power forward with this little sucker, which... It's not a bad tank. I do like its armor scheme, because the turret can be pretty fun from time to time. Though this stock engine is pretty poor for what I need it to be, so definitely can't wait till I can get the better engine on this guy. Alright, so I spotted the AMX Chaffee. There's a T-44 also pushing up on this side. Sup, Caliban. While this AMX Chaffee is making a poor decision, I somehow only tracked him. Yippee. Ow, ow, ow. And just like that, I'm already down half of my health. Oh, this thing is so slow with a damaged engine. I'm gonna have to just blow the repair kit, because the problem is that I don't think I'm gonna be able to survive like another major hit. And so at this point, it's like, you know, just use the repair kit so that way I can actually still go and do something to help this team. But I just got really unlucky because, like, I think I took one of those shots from the ISU 130 and that frickin' hurt. Oh, accidentally shot. And there's that armor scheme doing a little bit of trolling, which again, I'm really happy about. Come on, Tiger. There we go. Dang it. Come on, sit still. Ah. Just trying to hit the turret hatch. There we go. Good kill shot. I don't know who sees me, but yep, that scares me. And I'm probably dead. Yep, there I go. Panzerknacker. Doesn't the Panzerknacker have an auto loader? Isn't that the whole gimmick of that thing? Because that would explain why I died so quickly to it. And well, either way, we're going to win this one in blowout fashion. Doesn't really look like a close one at all. This Caliban's playing with fire, to say the least. He's driving on the edge, and he somehow thinks he's going to snipe a guy all the way from across the map. There you go, another win. Not a whole lot of damage, but I also didn't expect to do a whole lot. Down a tier. In the end, though, at least that gets me to the next suspension. Because I'm fine blowing a little bit of free XP to get me a suspension upgrade. Yippee, Canada Day. Alright, P43 Turb, yes. And then 6400 for a significantly better engine, I would hope. Nice. Having fun in Deep Rock Galactic. So better rotation speed for sure. Better, yeah, just your typical suspension upgrade. So gives me better, you know, traverse and everything on terrain. But the real good thing will be the next upgrade, which is the engine. So that lets us move up to tier 8, where I'll be starting off with the Freedom. However, before I get into the battle with the Freedom, sorry, I got a little distracted. Before I get into the battle with the Freedom, I am going to take the short little break. Just gonna stretch a little bit, refresh, that kind of thing. So I'll take the short break here before we get back into the Patriots grind, moving through my tier 8 selection of tanks. And yeah, I'll take the short break. And yeah, you're all good, Shaz. You know, sometimes when I just tune into people streaming, I do very much the same. I just kind of sit around, I keep it up and listen while I play and do other things. That's how I enjoy a lot of content, to be honest, whether it's sports or streams. But yeah, I'll be right back shortly, y'all. Take the short little break. And you might as well too, you know, take a short little break or a little reminder for y'all to, you know, stretch, get some hydration, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, we're back from the stretch. Took a little bit longer than I expected to, and as a result I got logged off of the game, logged off of the server. That's fine. Also, unfortunately, it looks like Spain scored their third goal. It looks like the Georgia Linsanity run is over. Alright, and so without further ado, let's already get right back into it, starting off with the Freedom. Up, and now it's 4-1 Spain. It's over. Alright, and since now it's tier 8, I can actually, you know, be top tier for once. Okay, that is a lot of mediums all bull rushing this flank. Right. Barask, you definitely want to back off there. Yippee, I love me a good, strong turret. Ah, he got a much better shot there into the turret hatch. Okay, yep, they're just probably loading APCR at that point, just spamming gold. Because after all, it's a high tier battle. Why actually aim for weak points when you can just change to gold ammo and just punch through the armor anyway? Ah! Shot the general instead. Oof, there goes the AMX. Ah, come on. I was 90 damage low away from the progress the amount of damage needed to progress the tester in one. Well, the good news is that their other light tank just destroyed themselves, so that makes it a little bit better in terms of scouting balance. Well, it's turning into a close one, to say the very least, but pretty much both teams swept around the opposite sides. So let's see, the last four, Astron Rex, who is a pretty nasty enemy to be honest. Motherland, Tiger, and Tiger, so... And now you just got a pair of teams just sniping each other from across the map. Oof. Nasty hit there from the Skoda. So just the Tiger and that pesky Astron Rex. Three minutes of stoppage time. That feels a little cruel to Georgia at this point when they're losing by 3 goals to Spain. Alright, at least he was smart to slow down first before just yeeting himself off the cliff. Come on, y'all. All you need is one more dinky little shot into that Astron Rex and he's toast. Hope they've respotted the Tiger, but he shouldn't be your problem right now, Shkoda. You should be killing the Astronaut Rex. As long as he's alive and he has that really nasty gun, he's gonna keep being a problem. Now it's just that Tiger, which the Tiger's not a bad tank at all. However, bottom tier in a tier 8 battle, he's not exactly in a favorable position to try and defend himself. And there he goes, killed off by the AMX. Okay, now I'm starting to see where all that rain that's been said is supposed to come is coming into play. There's a lot of rain out to the east of where I'm at. That's slowly crawling a little bit closer. Yippee, so a little bit of progress. Earn XP, and now the Pershing. Alright, and how much farther? So I'm still 5k XP away from getting another radio. Yippee. Well, that match is officially over. Spain, really, that game was never close, to be honest. And so another tier 8 battle. It's Assault, though, which is always a very interesting mode. Try and take the enemy base in 10 minutes. They got a couple of tier 6s, though, which are going to be pretty easy to control with the turret of the Pershing. Fortunately, a double RD battle with an M12 and M44, which are both decently nasty artillery, to be honest. Already an Oni and a T-29 have been spotted, as well as their Pershing. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Ouch. Not doing too hot here in this spot. Just to be fair, that's because there's a couple of heavy tanks all pushing that side. There we go, get a bounce. Aim a little lower, I don't want to be fighting with that turret of the T-29. And yep, so I'm going to back off. because they're just punching right through my armor. A Centurion, that's also going to be a stinker to do some damage against. Air Pershing's pushing up now. There we go, good hit. Now the only problem is that Centurion is staring me down. Oh, there we go. Come on, Pershing. Come on, give me a fight. I knew it. You ain't gonna fight me. Yep, neither of us are gonna do a whole lot against each other's turrets. The Centurion's upgraded turret is too good to just pen straight on. And mine's just, even stock is too tough to just outright penetrate. And I get... son of a gun. Oh, and now the Tiger wants to push up after I'm already dead. Wants to use my corpse as a piece of armor. Death, except this time that Tiger got completely ammo racked. Big detonation there. Trying to pull this one back. Reaper Scythe has that kind of interesting, I don't even know what you'd call it, flare on the penetrations, the shot, to be honest. That's such an interesting, like, ammo color, to be honest, just that green glow. Alright, Centurion, you gotta focus the KV too, because he's stuck reloading. There he goes. So now with just 2 artillery left, there's no way we're winning this one up. No way we're clutching this one up. Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to the stream. We're playing some War of Tanks console, trying to make progress through the next season, Patriots season. console notified me I was still in the party, which is nifty. GG's done with all my missions in Deep Rock Galactic. Nice. Always good to get you. Always good to get the missions completed. You know, just watching this S-51 get pretty much kicked to death. Now let's try that again. That was a very fast switch into the next battle, Corellia. Which is not a bad map, to be honest. Dear. Dear goodness gracious, a tier 10 battle. Oh, no way, man. Oh, I'm gonna... Level 12 out of 100 on the first day of the battle pass. Nice, that's pretty good. That's a real good progress there. I'm making some steady progress on the battle pass right now, to be honest. I don't know how I'm gonna do in this one, though. I'm in a tier 10 battle as a tier 8 stock Pershing. I'll be lucky to do a whole lot of anything to those tier 9s, the whole whopping 2 of them. But man, this is not at all a favorable matchup. Done with the World of Tank Battle Pass? Good stuff, man. Glad to hear. Alright, so I guess me and this AMX are going to push up on this side of the map, but it's going to be really into the danger zone, because I really don't know what I can expect out of a bottom tier stock Pershing. T1 LPC. That's actually a tier 8, so I can actually do a little bit, I think, to that guy. Ow. Oh, I'm dead here, totally. Bounced. Yep. Frickin' Conway and everything, man. Fuck. That's the moment that really sucks when you're stuck in... Because you can't do a whole lot with a tier 8 tank that's stock in a tier 10 battle. Like, man, what are you gonna do when everyone's just loading? You know, you got these big guns that just punch through all the armor and melt you in like 1 or 2 shots. It sucks. Not exactly done with all missions, but I only have 4 missions left on hardest difficulty, so friend. That's fair. Those tough missions are... Yeah, if those ones are on the hardest difficulty, that's fair that you don't want to just solo them. Yeah, I really can't do anything. Definitely felt like it. I can complete them slowly. Let's say 30 minutes of mission. That's rough. Yeah. Understandable that you wouldn't exactly be too thrilled to try to do it solo in that case. Yeah, not hard, just takes a lot of time. And that's fair. Like, I can feel that to a certain extent with like Destiny, for example. I know there's some like missions that if you do on the hardest difficulty aren't exactly like insanely hard, but they're also so time consuming. And even not on the hardest difficulty, some of those things can just take so long to beat. Guess my PS is taking a nap now. Done for the day. RIP. Console just said, nah, I'm done. Catch you later. E100 trying to use stealth. Not sure how that was ever going to work. It's just the E100 and a Centurion AVRE trying to take on an army. Yeah, trying to camp in a bush. Camoed up. 1,000 plus meter concealment. The guy's track's blown off, which is kind of a miracle. That's the only damage he takes from Waffenträger E100. Yeah. Especially a heavy as big and chonky as the E100, you definitely are never going to have enough concealment to use a bush. There you go, at least get another kill. Just destroy the light tank who's just chilling there. He might as well. Yep, I lost money. Who would have thunk that when you're stuck in a tier 10 battle as a tier 8? Okay, Liberty Falls. Tier 8 battle. This is something I can work with now. There's only one enemy tank artillery. However, it's a very obnoxious one. The only thing I like about the E100 is that it has a pretty good line before it. That's fair. It's a pretty strong line. Oh boy, Heavy Metal Hero FV305 is going to be an obnoxious artillery because all it is just an FV304, which is a really annoying tier 6 British arty, just upgunned to be more usable at tier 8. Which then ends up making it an absolute pain in the butt because it just spams you into oblivion. No, that's fair. The E100 is like the certified classic, it's the guy that used to be, up there when it came to World of Tanks tier 10 heavies, because it's one of the classics, one of the OGs. But the problem is that it's been like it's been power crept so hard that it just kind of is there. It's no longer that, super viable option that it used to be. Most heavy tanks, well, yeah. Because I think I think they've literally done very little in terms of balancing it. I think they've just kind of, for the most part, looked at it and said, yeah, that's fine. It's still, air quotes, competitive. Well, Tiger P died. Who would have thunk that, given he just pushed up in the middle on that bridge by himself. You want to go up ahead? Be my guest, STG. Though, however, given that there's nobody down here, we gotta kind of push. We gotta take initiative here. There we go, good hit on the Senshi. Use the cover of the rocks to my advantage. Okay, that's not as much cover as I thought. Alright, I'm gonna have to push the Senshi because he's in a bit of a better protected position. And yep, yeah, that Guardian STG is gonna just sit there and get pebbled to death because he didn't want to push alongside. The problem is it's supposed to have armor, but it doesn't because it's not at all angled. Yeah. Which, you know, to be honest, it is based off of a pretty poor design, you know. Because, like, as much as, like, you know, some people keep thinking, oh, you know, wow, you know, it could have been, like, such a dangerous tank. Not really. You know, the E100 is the peak, is just prime example of the German philosophy at the time, which was keep putting more armor and bigger gun on it, ignoring all of the really bad indications that that formula was never going to work. You know, you just look at how the Tiger II, right, is supposed to be the super intimidating vehicle, but it broke down super often, even more than just the Tiger I. You look at like the Jagd Panther, the Jagd Tiger, and that's fair, yeah. You know, the E100 is bad because it's based off of a really bad design, and then also Wargaming really haven't decided to ever buff it. They've just kind of left it in the state that it's been in so long. So it's just been power crept into oblivion. Hello there, welcome to the chat, Zhenya KYD. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, and thanks for the follow. Hope you're doing well this fine Sunday afternoon. Nickname Whiskey Ocean. Nice. Well, welcome to the chat, Whiskey Ocean. Hope you're doing well today. You know, we're just playing some World of Tanks here. Nice. Good to have a good PlayStation 5. Looks like we might lose this invite. I'm inclined to pass, appreciate it, and like the enthusiasm, but I think I'll pass for now. Team's doing a lot better. That Kari is not going to survive, which I'll take. Oh, that Astron Rex is a problem. Little speak English, but I support you if you need. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Don't need to worry about it. I'm fine playing by myself. even if it's a little bit of a chaos and all that good stuff. This Earthshaker is literally going to get just whittled down, shot by shot. The nickname on World of Tanks? Dan Firecatcher. Oh, from Russia. That's cool. That's cool. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be very good gameplay because we'd both be lagging. I'm over here in the United States, so I don't think it'd be a great idea to try and platoon up, unfortunately, because the lag would be pretty bad for one or the other of us, but happy to have you join the chat. Yeah, welcome from, Russia. Welcome to the chat, and hope you enjoy. You play in America now. Interesting. Hopefully it's not too laggy for you in the America server. Oh, nice tier 8 battle. That's pretty good. Yeah, if he's actually based in the US and he's got the good proximity, then I don't think it would lag very hard at all. Some people just play any server. That's fair. Come to platoon. Appreciate the eagerness, man. Though I'm just fine playing by myself. I appreciate it, though. Solo. Yeah, I'm fine playing solo. I understand that. Platoons do have the bonuses, but I'm fine just playing solo. Hello there, Cromwell. You've made a big mistake. Already hit him in the ammo rack. Cromwell has made a major mistake. And there he goes, paying for his errors. The Super Hellcat's also going to regret his decisions. Blocked. There you go, yeah. You two can go ahead and play together. It sounds like a fun time, to be honest. And I need to get moving because this spot's pretty nasty in terms of getting whittled down. Ow, ow, ow. Flat Panzer IV. IS-3 auto right there. There are a lot of people over here. There we go, good hit on the Super Hellcat, and we're getting kind of bottled in, to be honest. Another hit. Oh dear, ouch. Oh, that IS-3 just took a nasty chunk out of me. Yep, there was no way I was surviving the IS-3. Decent amount of damage, though. It's still a close battle, to be honest. Could go down to the wire, which I'd be down for that, if at least a close win, maybe. Black Prince has got to pay attention. There's two guys to his left, right there, just putting shots into him. Couple of winds of Arrakis right there. Oh, this Black Prince is struggling though. His gun's just not good enough. There you go, Black Prince. Do a little bit of damage before you go. Now all it is just the stinking KV-3 in the town. Oof. Got lucky to survive that shot. You know, that's fair. I think he's just scouting his way through the World of Tanks console category. You know what? That's fair, you know. Man wants to get into a platoon. Alright, is this enough to at least... Well, I'm closer to the radio. I think I'm still going to free XP the radio, to be honest, because it's taking so long to get that stinking radio. And that's what I did, but I was searching for someone to talk to. Yeah, and you know, I think it's just a little bit easier, like, you know, like I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I was also like, you know, I'm like, you just barely came into the chat, maybe want to get to know the situation a little bit better, but I don't know. You know, to each their own. Hopefully he can find himself that platoon, but I'm kind of just more in the mood, just kind of just play by myself to a good degree, or maybe with a friend in the future, depending if I can get a friend into this game, which to be honest is like, if they really want to get into the game. But yeah, you know, it was really interesting to say the least, but yeah. That's what, 2,000? No, it's 1,800 free XP. I'll blow it just that way I can get off of this radio finally. SCR 528 radio, which buffs the radio range by a pretty hefty bit, to be honest. Alright, and so before I go to the Huntsman, I do have a loot box. Sergeant War Chest, what are you gonna do? Two triple XP boosters, 1,000 free XP, and I'll take the gold at least. Yeah, platoons don't really make a difference if you're not talking to someone. Yeah, that's also very fair, you know. If we're not in a party or we're not doing, you know, we're not in a situation where you're actually able to talk to the person, it's not that helpful, especially in the case like for, you know, through a stream. There is the latency delay. Like when I'm talking, there's a good cut like second or so delay, which can make a very big difference, to be honest. So, you know, bro's just eager to find himself a platoon. 5,500 gold. Love me some good gold. Alright, let's see what we can get up to in the Huntsman. Yeah, I'm just hoarding gold at this point. I don't really have any, like, vehicle I'm super, like, yeah, I want to get my hands on that, to be honest, at this point. So I'm just kind of just hoarding gold at this point. Kind of just saving it up for the next battle pass. Once the next season happens. Yeah, it annoys me too. I don't even know how I have I don't know how I also have an uneven number of gold, to be honest. I have no clue when it happens. It just happens, and now I get to live with only having a random 3 gold. I can get rid of it, just convert it into free XP. Return to having a balanced, even amount. Alright, so another tier 8 battle. Let's see if I can get into some shenanigans here in the Huntsman Centurion. Yeah, that's fair. I'll do that after I finish off the Centurion. At least battling and getting some XP in the Huntsman Centurion. And I can't wait to get... What's the conversion rate right now in World Tanks? What, it's gonna be like 30 or so maybe 45 free XP, yippee, you know. Type 59 too. Oh, Sturv, there's no way you're gonna do that, damn. All right, ARL, you're putting on a little extra aggression. I don't know if that's a good idea. Oh dear. Tiger 131. Yeah, I'm pulling back. This is not a favorable position to be in. So I'll go ahead and instead bother that 59 patent for my team. I need to customize this commander. Get rid of this default voice acting, I hate it. Blew out my tracks, but I hit his gas tank. Ow! Who else hit me? That was not the 59 pad shooting me. That was someone back on the back line. This thing's gun definitely has some pretty good pen. I'll take it. Unfortunately, it looks like the people on the south side just got completely wiped out. There you are, you son of a gun. Hellcat 105 missed him because the accuracy wasn't there. Oh, you're kidding me. I left him with 25 health? That is insanely unlucky. We're getting pinched, though. This is becoming a death trap of an area. At least get the kill. But this is a death trap. Like 50 or something, sometimes events worth 75. So, you know, I'll get a whole whopping 150 free XP. Nothing wrong with that. It's not looking too great in terms of the potential for winning this one. If you do want to, if you don't want to wait for the battle to finish, you can exit. I know, but like, I don't really care. You know, I understand there's more efficiency to it, but that's not the way I do it. I just sit around and watch for how the battle goes, to be honest. That's just the way I kind of tend to do it. I understand it might not be the most, like, you know, I guess, like, you know, because obviously I'm out of the fight for a decent amount of time, but I like to just kind of sit and watch, see what happens, why my team ends up losing, because then you get to see kind of honestly stupid stuff happen. Because, like, if I just left the battle earlier, I would have never witnessed E75 TS YOLO off the cliff and just die. Even if it was really annoying to watch your teammate, like, completely just have an objectively awful brain fart and just die. Also, I got unfortunate. It's a tier 10 battle. Thankfully, a better team spread. So I do have more tanks I can actually do some damage against. It's also double arty, which is not great. They have a tier 10 artillery. And then they have a GW Tiger P. So very easily, I think I could probably get tactically nuked. Hello there, Sturmtiger. Oh man. That Object 277 is not having a good day. I'm sticking close to the T110E4 because I know it's a big beefy boy. Huzzah, got him. Track damage. Jeez. Okay, Sturmtiger, just absolutely nuking him. Doesn't look like the enemy team's pushing town. So this is where I can actually become a little bit helpful, because I'm a faster tank. I can do a little bit of scouting. Jeez Louise. That Centurion regrets peeking. Gotta use my speed. I know, I didn't get the assist damage for the track. Really unfortunate. The whole whopping 51 assist damage. See, I'm concerned because I don't know where the heck the rest of this enemy team is. Chances are they're just camping back on the ridge line on the east. Missed the whip shot, the snapshot. Where are these guys? Like, the entire enemy team is just... Oh! Ah, that was a little awkward, and that hurt really badly. I'm backing up. Yep. All the tank destroyers are over here. What a surprise. At least I'm starting to rack in spot assists. Hey, help me out, T110E4. You go fight some guys. I think I just helped with a spot assist for a guy lighting a guy on fire. Jeez. This is a bad spot, like a certifiably poor spot to be in. At least I'm racking in all the spotting assists though, yeah, because like the thing is that they're all camped up all here. So all the spotting assists are just all racking up. It also helps that we were blowing this team out, because, you know, if you're just going to camp in a back line, all it takes is some marginal flanking and you're toast. See, that battle started out kind of rough. I was worried that I was going to get killed, and instead I racked up over 3k spot assist, which is a win.
Great job, team.
Oh. GG's. Oof. And so even though it wasn't the best battle, 3,300 spot assist is pretty good. Gave me a bunch of silver, so I'll take it. Does also help that I was in a premium tank, so, you know, yippee. Spotter, yep. Racking up the assists. Oh boy, 6,400 for the AMX-30 B2 4AD. Okay, your voice, not it. We're putting you the UK voice, even though it's not accurate because you're a Japanese protagonist. But you know what? British voice because British tank. Alright, so that gets us to the actual Centurion, which right now is halfway to a significantly better engine because the current engine on the Centurion is laughably just underpowered. So let's see what we can get up to in the actual standard Centurion. I'm not too, I don't know what to actually expect. I think my Russian commander was Russian. Yeah, put him in Russian. There you go. Yeah, I always put the commanders speaking the language of the nationality of the tank. So, for example, you know, for most of my British tanks, I have the commander speaking in British, you know, UK English. But then, like, for, yeah, my Russian commanders, I have them speaking Russian, and so on and so forth. I just like the... I guess it's more immersive than constantly hearing the default American voice, because after a while I get really tired of the American voice. It's kind of meh. Oh great, it's another tier 10 battle. Jeez Louise, man. What is this game and testing me with my bottom tier patience? This is a little bit of a dangerous maneuver, to be honest. Me and the Earthstriker had the same idea. Ah, bounced, and the track ate it. Track ate the return shot. Ooh, that's a good hit on the VZ. hit his ammo rack, making him a lot less efficient. But he already blew the repair kit. There we go, an ammo rack. Oh god, we both ammo racked each other. Just bump into each other and hit the ammo rack because they're both really badly placed. Oh wow, our base is already getting capped. Yikes. Oh, I just bottled that so hard. 2 assist damage. Yippee! Oh my god. Oh, he's getting teeth breaked. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out of here and go to try and help defend the base, because the south side just got absolutely freaking destroyed. Oh shoot, ow. Tier 10 guy. Yeah, I got that 2 assist damage, baby. We're living it up. Oh, yeah, this is... There's nothing I was gonna do there. Oh yeah, yeah, two tier 10 medium tanks just staring me down, and I look at the... even like staring down the lower glacis, just no penetration yet. I love when I ping a spot on the map and my German commander says... That's too good. Yeah, I love how, like, the German commanders always sound, for the most part, very angry. What I do wish is that they didn't, because I remember the last major, like, one of the more recent updates they did to this game, they made it where, like, they added a stupid, like, radio overlay sound to every voice line, and it's so annoying, because you can't hear the dialogue nearly as good as you used to be able to. German is a very angry. Yeah, I'm kind of like passively learning it. Obviously, you know, everyone likes to meme Duolingo, because obviously, you know, the best way to learn it is to be immersed in a language. But unfortunately, here in the United States, not exactly a lot of German people around, or people who speak German. So, you know, if I got that immersion, that'd be nice. So I'm kind of passively learning it bit by bit, and I can understand, like, the memes about, like, you know, it being an angry language. That's all because of the fact that they use, like, there's so many, like, tones that are so just in the back of the throat. We learn German in Croatian schools. No, that's cool that you get to learn so many different languages. The US is really, really bad when it comes to language education. Like, in the US... you don't, for the most part, most schools, you don't learn another language until at least grade 9, if not grade 10 or beyond. And the languages that are most commonly taught here are either Spanish or French, really. You might get lucky and get a third random language, like where I went to high school, there was a decent, like, somewhat Portuguese population, so Portuguese was an option. But besides that, like, you know, if you're in schools here in the US, you really don't get a chance to learn a language until you're pretty far in your life and you don't have and you're gonna be fighting tooth and nail to really, really learn it, you know? Yeah, you know, all this, you know, obviously there's the stereotypes for every single country. Germans are just going to be patient, really, do exactly what they have to. Or like the efficiency, the Germans are efficient, stereotype, obviously. But yeah, no, I wish that we had a chance to learn languages earlier. But the US is a joke. The United States, for a good while, actually made it illegal to learn other languages, because even though there's no official language of the United States, unfortunately, politics here in the United States has been for a long time and remains pretty xenophobic. And only within like the last, you know, 20, 30, maybe even 40 at best years have they kind of dialed back the xenophobia to allow people to learn other languages. Because, like, for example, in the state that I'm in, there's a large population of Mexicans because of, you know, the history of the region. And so as a result, a lot of Mexicans speak Spanish. However, in this state, it was illegal until, I believe, 1994 to teach Spanish in schools, or to, like, allow kids to speak Spanish. They were pretty much, you were pretty much forced to have to speak English. So, you know, the U.S. has a major problem when it comes to other languages and also just other people. I heard a joke like what a German comedy club would be like, and it was like, knock knock, who's there? Doesn't matter, open the door. And why did the chicken cross over? Because he was following orders. Those are some good jokes. See, now I honestly would like to see what a German comedy club is like. Because obviously it wouldn't be like the stereotypes, but I feel like there would be some pretty good jokes. Ooh, yippee, a Tiger 131. I wonder if I can put some shots into it. Dang it, he pulled back. I don't think they have one. Impossible. There is no such thing as a comedy joke. No such thing as a German comedy club. Somehow got spotting assist on that Tiger. Doesn't look like anybody on the enemy team is pushing this side of the map. There's no time for joking. They have to follow the orders. Oh dear. Yeah, this gun sucks. I think the only way I'm gonna pen this guy is to have to load the gold, because... Nope, even then. This thing... His armor is too good. Peacing out, buddy. Not dealing with that guy. Okay, staying alive at least. Got proxy spotted by that guy, the Reaper's Scythe. The stock engine's not helping me at all with this thing. Okay, come on, there we go. So I'm gonna try to get the flank going, see if I can pressure that artillery. Pretty good to be Croatian. Don't have to worry about the pronunciations or failing pronunciations as hard. Just don't have problems to like pronounce the words of any other language. To be fair, that's because like Croatian has so many varied like sounds within the language that it really does help you pronouncing others. Because like, you know, when the reason why it's so helpful to learn the languages when you're younger is so that way you're able to just kind of, your mouth gets used to just, you know, moving in the ways needed to pronounce certain parts and certain sounds. You know, your tongue gets used to moving in certain ways. So, you know, like for example, for you with Croatian, you know, there's so many varied sounds. I guess that makes sense that it'd help you out for a lot of the other pronunciations. This gun is awful. I'm doing such little damage to this equalizer. Gotta focus the T-29, I guess. Because if he's going to keep presenting the back of his tank, I might as well take the shots. I'm going to damage the gun. But we're still losing this, because there's no way I'm going to be able to cross the map in 45 seconds. I'm the final one. Complete the mission. That just makes you guys OP in the realm of languages. You're like, I can pronounce everything. You can't pronounce us. No, I think that'd be cool to like try to learn Croatian. If at least so that way I can get used to at the very least, so that way I can get used to pronouncing so many other different sounds, so that way when I get to other languages, it's a lot easier too. Mission failed with gun. Yeah, there was no way I was going to win that, especially with how mediocre this gun is. Like, the problem with the Centurion stock gun is on paper, it's not a bad gun, because it's the Comet's best gun. But the problem is, the Comet is a tier 7 tank, this thing's a tier 8, and so if you're in a battle like this one, where I have a tier 9, or even other tier, like, strong tier 8s, this gun is just really mid at trying to do the job that's needed. So now, you know, Erlenberg, another map that's really not favorable for me right now, because, Centurion, I still also don't have a better engine. I need the better engine so bad, so that way I can actually, like, move and take advantage of the speed. This stock engine is pretty garbage. And if you know Croatian, you know, like, Bosnian, Serbian, and you understand most of, like, Russian, Bulgarian, Slovenian, Montenegrin, that makes sense. Because after all, the, Eastern European, the Slavic languages are all pretty similar in a lot of degrees. Obviously, there's major differences, but they do have some pretty similar parts. Obviously, once you get to Russian, you gotta pay attention to the different alphabet, the Cyrillic alphabet, versus the fact that, you know, for example, Slovenia, Slovakia still use, what are the... They're the Latin alphabet, you know? Oh, that makes sense, though. That's pretty handy dandy, though, because you can essentially really be what is it? I think it's a polygraph. Not a polygraph. It's a... There's a certain term for someone who speaks a polyglot. There we go. Someone who can speak multiple languages. Russian is the hardest to understand, but you can understand some sentences is a good starting point. Yeah, and that's like, I think that's a big bonus for when you know at least one language in a certain language's family tree, for example, you know? Like, for example, Spanish. I know Spanish pretty well just because of where I've grown up, my family, all that good stuff. The Romance languages aren't always very cohesive, because, for example, French has a lot of major differences between... There's a lot of major differences between Spanish and French, but, like, Spanish and Portuguese are very, very similar, so even if you only know Spanish, you can still kind of know parts of Portuguese. And then same with Italian. Italian is actually still also somewhat similar to Spanish. There's of course there's still some major differences, but there's some words where you notice you're like, wait a minute, that's the exact same. Yeah, French. My roommate studied French. My roommate knows a good bit of French, and I'm just like, you know, congratulations. But like, have you ever seen that one video where it's like how the word blueberry, wall, and like a bunch of other words are the exact same, they're not the exact same, but they're so close to being the same spelling and pronunciation, they can essentially say one entire sentence with mostly using just the sound of mood. That is French. I do know some Croats who know French because they went to live in France. That's cool. Yippee, my first bit of damage this battle because I'm in a terrible spot and I don't have a good gun. Oh, I ain't penetrating anything here. Yippee, your base is already getting captured. Saw those videos and then I say a sentence with a 20. Same word times 20, yeah. And see, the funny thing is that French is a decently common language over here. Not nearly as common as Spanish, of course. But like you go to Canada, right, and French is a pretty common language in Canada. We're getting blown out over here. Man, I can't even kill that guy. I can't even penetrate the side armor of a Super Conqueror, man. This is so wild. The stock Centurion in a tier 10 battle is a heck of a painful time. Alright, well that battle went just about as poorly as I expected it to go, given stock Centurion problems. Alright, so Ghost Town, and what do we got? Tier 8s with a couple of Tier 6s. So that means I could hopefully at least bully somebody here. It's pretty mind-blowing. I don't know if you know this, but I think Norwegian or something, they're like, Danish could have been like the international language, like English is today, if England lost the battle against them. Yeah, it's very interesting, because, okay, so as a history major, right, I'm all about history and kind of like, you know, obviously history is full of speculation and, you know, this could have happened, that could have happened. But there are so many points in time where you could really think that, you know, the language of commerce, you know, what this and that could have been so much different. Because let's say, for example, you know, like, a lot of people maybe look at, like, how the Spanish Armada, when the Spanish lost the war to England, because Spain was the biggest empire at the time, but Spain continuing to, Spain overmining silver, losing the war to England, then getting conquered by France, led to Spain falling back. But very easily, you know, the Spanish, you know, Spanish could have also become, like, the language of commerce if Spain's empire hadn't collapsed. You know, French could have been the language of commerce if Napoleon hadn't lost. Or even prior to Napoleon, if the French had won, like, the 100 Years' War, for example, and, like, really, like, and, you know, all these different factors. And then also the same, like, you know, if the Danish had successfully invaded England and overthrown the Anglo-Saxons, then, you know, the Danish would have been you know, this Danish would have been it. What happens if he, oh yeah, the, you know, history, the many what ifs if he didn't invade Russia. And even, not even if he didn't invade Russia, but had actually had a better plan about invading Russia. Because the thing was, is that, you know, when you know, I've studied a lot of World War II, just because I find the 20th century to be the most interesting. Really, it boils down to if he had actually just, you know, not meddled with the, if he had not meddled so much in the plans of invading the Soviet Union. Because, for example, if he had just let, you know, the groups focus if his armies had just focused on one place at a time, then very easily, you know, history could have gone quite a bit different. Because, you know, for example, they had Leningrad completely besieged, and chances are they probably could have taken Leningrad. Or, you know, they could have taken Moscow if they had focused on Moscow, or they could have taken Stalingrad if they had focused on Stalingrad, instead of just constantly shifting priorities. World War II is a lot of cases of Germany refocusing their priorities way too much, given their circumstances. And, you know, good, but also just like, you know, history full of speculation and all that kind of stuff. What ifs, what ifs, what ifs. Meanwhile, I am in a dreadfully bad position. Oh my god, this thing can't penetrate even this sucker, but it's also because of the TS5. This thing is obnoxious to penetrate. Yeah, there's nothing I was gonna do there. Yeah, you know, all things considered, it's like, okay, glad he was interfering and messing up his own plans, because thank goodness for that. Oh yeah, the world's still a mess. Part of that's just thanks to capitalism. Because after all, capitalism, you know, has been a very big factor in a lot of the world's affairs. You know, especially in the modern day, you know, you look at like climate change, that's absolutely a problem of capitalism, because even though for years science has been showing that, you know, climate is changing, you know, big corporations paid off scientists to also make bogus science and convince people that it wasn't a problem, especially here in the United States. Golly. Like, you know, obviously obviously Europe has a lot of its own problems. Every country has its own. The US has so many problems that are self-inflicted, it is, like, just insane. And a lot of those problems stem from capitalism, stem from the elite, the rich elite, the rich white elite refusing to give up power in any way possible. They find ways to kind of maneuver power around, and unfortunately a lot of people buy the messages that they send out, and so it's a mess. The US, you know, we live in a world that is very messed up. It could be a lot worse, but it also could be significantly better, and, you know, it's up to the coming generations to try and fix those problems. You know? Because at the very least we are making progress, especially countries besides the US are making progress. You know, as much as, for example, like you look at the Paris Olympics this year, right? As much as that promise of the River Seine being clean enough to swim in was going to never happen, the fact that they're on track to be the most environmentally sustainable Olympic Games ever held is massive, you know? That in itself is a big win. Now, if only, you know, other big countries like the US would get on that, get on it. But that's not going to happen. It'll either happen very slowly or not at all, especially depending on how things go this coming November. But, yeah. Good old politics and history, because inherently history is full of politics, because politics create history, whether good or bad. Another tier 8 battle, which I can work with again. big IS-22. I have no idea what this Jackson's doing. He is just YOLOing full send. I ain't gonna be able to duel with that guy. Spotted an enemy Jackson. Yeah, you get him, IS-22. I don't wanna deal with those hands. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that take, by the way. I'm gonna disagree with you on that take, plain and simple. Because historically, prior to the massive growth and strength of the Catholic Church, the belief in more fluid gender identities and roles and more other stuff was already actually a part of cultures all around the world. It's not a new phenomenon. However, thanks to the powers of the Roman Catholic Church and a lot of other imperial powers, those kinds of beliefs have faded over time, but they're also gaining resurgence. So I'm a disagree on you on that take. But you'd be surprised. It's not a new trend. It's been a trend that's been... It's not even a trend. It's been something that's been shown throughout history. Even, into the deepest parts of our past. So, you can disagree, and that's, up to you. But I'm sure you'd also be surprised that, probably in Croatia, in that region, there were probably very different thoughts about gender identity and all that stuff prior to, the Middle Ages. Because if I'm going to be honest, the Middle Ages did a whole lot of damage to pretty much the world, to be honest. The Middle Ages kind of messed a lot of things up. The problem is, I'm also gonna I am gonna fight you a little bit on this one too. The problem is that it's not that gay people, because for example, I'm gay, first and foremost. Gay people aren't like dictating and demanding you have to be gay, or that kind of stuff. What they're doing during those pride events and showing all the flags is demanding to at least be able to be seen in public, and at least be seen as another human being. Because the problem is, for the past however many for hundreds of years, being a queer person was a death sentence, because the Catholic Church, because of other institutions, would literally root them out and kill them. It's not that they're dictating that, you have to be this or you have to be that. By showing off the flags and, parading in the streets, they're showing off that they deserve to still be, that we deserve, because I'm part of that community, that we deserve to still be treated like human beings, that we deserve to be able to be seen and not be killed, which is still the case in a lot of places. And, the problem is, like you look at movies, right? You look at television, movies, all this media. Straight relationships, right, are seen with no problem. But the minute that a gay relationship, whether it's a man living a man, a woman living a woman, those are immediately stigmatized. And that's a big reason why, these parades, all these different things. Obviously, when you're seeing like the big corporations put a rainbow on, they're doing it because they're trying to make money. But when people are parading in the streets, when people are showing off the flags, it's not telling you, you as a straight person, it's not saying, or, trying to be threatening to you. It's not saying you have to be gay. It's just saying we're here, we exist, And for so long, we have been treated so poorly, and for a lot of us, it was so dangerous that we'd be killed. Heck, in a lot of countries, it still is very dangerous, and they can be killed. Like Poland is incredibly dangerous for gay people. Russia is absurdly dangerous for gay people. They can't be out there in the streets. And so for the celebrations and for that, it's not, telling you you have to be gay, but it's telling you, please at the very least see us as people, see us as, other human beings who deserve to be able to live in the comfort that you all implicitly have just as being straight and, cisgender for being a man or a woman, it's more of that stuff. Are there always going to be people on the internet that do stupid things and try to push it like way too far? Of course, because the internet sucks. Plain and simple, the internet is a trash fire. But you shouldn't always base your idea on what, random people on the internet are screaming about. Children see daily, and they also want to become something that the parents of those children. Well, no. And that's another fallacy right there, because, we're kind of getting into the conversation. That's another fallacy. That's, that argument of, seeing them turns kids gay. That's not how it works. Because, for example, if a gay kid, or a gay, teenager sees all this straight media throughout their childhood, wouldn't they still be straight? They saw all of this media throughout their childhood, throughout their early adulthood, into their 20s. They've seen all this media that's been straight. There's, men loving women. That's like all the stereotypes. James Bond. All these stereotypes that are pushed onto them because it's marketable. Wouldn't that person still be, straight? For example, me. I grew up in a very Catholic household, which is a very, very straight-focused household. I grew up in that situation. I've been surrounded by very straight-focused media, and I'm still gay. It's not that the media magically turns someone gay. It's just that someone realizes over the time of their life, their experiences, that they find comfort outside of what is typically expected. And the whole, the parents would not want that. To a degree, that's fair. And obviously parents can limit what their children see. But also, parents have to realize that their child is still a human being, and that their child is going to make discoveries, and they're going to discover for themselves, maybe they're gay. Maybe they don't like being a man or a woman, because obviously sometimes being a woman, for example, especially has been such a horrible experience in a lot of places. Maybe they discover a lot about themselves. And it's more of the parent's responsibility to be there for their child instead of looking at their child and thinking something's wrong with them and trying to fix them. Because the same problem happened, for example, for autistic people, especially in the United States. People with autism, there's the stigma. There was the stigma, there still is stigma. People who aren't neurotypical are oh, well, if this happens, your kid becomes autistic, and that's a bad thing. You got to fix your kid. That's not how it should be. The parent should be there for their child. Same way when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to gender identity, that kind of stuff. You don't have to agree, but through my lived experiences, through what I've seen, a lot of the arguments are made supposedly to protect the children. And a lot of the time, it comes at the harm of the children. It comes at the harm of other people. And it even comes at the harm of people who aren't even gay, because they might know someone who is gay, and then that person gets hurt, and they're hurt in the process, all that stuff. And, here in the United States, it's been a very big issue for a long time, The reason why the United States has the big Pride celebrations is because the original event was literally a riot, because the police tried to destroy a bar, a gay bar. They raided the bar, they used excessive force, they were beating people in the bar and in the streets because it's a bar, obviously kids aren't going into a gay bar, kids in the US can't drink alcohol until they're 21. So kids aren't going in there, so what's the problem? And what happened is that Stonewall riot, the police went into that bar and started beating everyone in there because they were gay, because they were trans, and all that stuff. And then they fought back, and it started off a major movement to try and show that gay people deserve to be treated correctly. Because after all, straight people can go into a bar, and they can't get, gay people, straight people don't get, beaten in the bars for just being who they are. So that's fair. Well, not really. I'm also going to laugh at that, to be honest. That's also, it's the personal belief. Obviously, religion is another thing. But here's my problem with that argument too. Is everyone Christian? No. Not everyone is Christian. So if you want to believe that, that's fine. I'm not saying don't be Christian. But the problem is that you can't expect everyone to follow the same faith as you. You can't expect everyone to then believe that faith. You can't force that faith onto someone else, because when you try to force faith onto someone else, all you're doing is causing problems. And you're forcing them to live a life that they don't truly feel comfortable in. You can't force your faith onto others. Just because if you believe in Christian faith and that's for you personally, then that's fine. But the problem is you can't, as a society, go, well, because I think God said it this way, you're wrong, and therefore your life is wrong, and we're going to punish you for that. And that's been what it's been in the past. I grew up in a Catholic family. The Catholic Church has so many problems, For crying out loud, why do you think Eastern Orthodoxy, all the different factions of Christianity exist? Because Catholicism has so many problems. But the same thing still applies, You can't force your faith onto others. You can't expect other people to live by the tenets of that faith if they are not that faith. And therefore it's unfair of you to expect for them to not only think in that same way, but also it's unfair to them to then expect them to live by those, tenets. Because, for example, you wouldn't expect, someone who is, Hindu to believe in the same way that you believe. So just because, the statement of, God sent him Eve, not Steve, that only applies to you, and it should only apply to you if you personally believe in that faith. It should not apply to the person who believes in Hinduism. It should not apply to the person who doesn't believe in God. It should not apply to all those different situations. And unfortunately, in the past, that has been the situation. And that's where you get religious persecution. That's where you get, the Spanish Inquisition, where they were, torturing people who weren't Catholic. That's where you get discrimination against people who are gay, and so on and so forth. So, I'm not saying you have to believe it, but, it's good to keep an open mind on that matter and be like, yeah, your faith is 100% important and it gives you strength. But be wary of pushing that on other people. Because that person that you're talking to who's gay or is trans or whatever might not believe in your faith. And therefore it's unfair to put that faith on them when that's not what they believe in. And that's a big problem here in the United States too. We have a bunch of evangelical Christians who use their privilege and who use their faith as a weapon against other people. Whether it's the gay people, whether it's gay people like myself, whether it is, gosh, how many other populations have they targeted? It's terrible. But I obviously wasn't expecting to get into politics, or not even just politics, because the existence of gay people isn't political, and the fact that people claim it is absurd. But I wasn't expecting to get into this conversation, to be honest. I like talking about it because it's good to challenge beliefs. It's good to have actually conversations like this, because in the U.S., believe me, in the U.S., these kinds of conversations don't work, because a lot of people will hear someone disagree with them and just discount them completely and just be like, no, you're wrong, and I'm never going to listen, And it's good to have these important conversations. It's good to have these critical conversations. But, this is my perspective, obviously, as a formerly Catholic person, as someone who is gay. what it means for me, and obviously, it means very different things for you too. And I just hope that maybe you keep that in mind and that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's like, Christians all across the world, especially in the US, have a bad rep because of all the bad things that, you could say false Christians do, where they abuse their faith and they abuse, they lie about what, Jesus was about, what God is about, that kind of thing. And, those are the people that cause the most harm, obviously. And, you believe what you believe. As long as you're not using it to do harm against another person, I respect it. And I'm glad that, you respect my opinions as well, and that's ultimately what matters. Because I know that obviously, we're not going to agree on everything. It makes no sense to ever think, oh, we're going to agree on everything. That's not how people are. But all of what matters is that mutual respect, respecting each other, treating each other as people. Because whether that's, because you're Christian or not, treating other people like people is such a big thing. That's unfortunately lost in a lot of situations. Oh my god, how am I destroying tracks and only tracks today? Come on, Panzer 58, we got this. That's so unfortunate. I am now in a really bad spot to be in this really lightly armored tank. Well, I died there, no surprise. And like the point, when you ask like what's the point of people making up these stories, making up what Jesus or God did, it's usually for their own personal gain. It's usually so that they can gain something they feel is, they feel like they can make some sort of gain out of it, which in itself is right there blasphemous, Because if you're dealing with this religion, right, you're ultimately supposed to be treating each other right. You're supposed to be following it for guidance, not using it to try and gain personally, like for money or for fame and clout, all that kind of stuff, It's always for gain, and a lot of the time that gain is also through perpetuating hate. So the two beliefs we need to know. I mean, there's something like our two beliefs, so we can't know what is the truth for 100%, but again, like, we're always messed up. There's some like flat earthers. When we landed on the moon, their satellites go around the world. Oh man, flat earthers are something else. Yeah, conspiracy theories are also wild, because flat Earth is, well, actually flat Earth isn't a conspiracy theory, but like, like you say, we landed on the moon. The amount of people here in the U.S. that think the moon landing is fake, man. You'd be surprised, because like, flat earther is usually hand in hand with people who think the moon landing was faked. Because, and this is where the internet really sucks, because the internet is such a massive source of misinformation. It's a massive source of hatred. Because, people who think the Earth is flat, right? For example. They're going to believe that because they see on the internet people who agree with them. And we're obviously going to be most inclined to agree with someone who shares our belief. It's just part of human psychology. We find comfort in being with people who think like us. The unfortunate thing is that when the internet, you're able to spread lies and spread those beliefs so easily. The meteor hit Mexico, and then the ripple effect sent all of the dinosaurs up into space. So what we need to do, SpaceX isn't for the satellites, it isn't for going to Mars. We're trying to go to Mars not for saving human civilization, it's because the dinosaurs, they're on Mars. That's where they're at. That's what we gotta do. The meteor hit Mexico and sent the dinosaurs to Mars. We just haven't found them yet. Those rovers have been looking in the wrong spot. And as absurd as that sounds, the problem is that I can say that absurd statement, and if I make as much stuff up to follow it, people will believe me. Which is one of the big danger parts of the internet. The internet's great because it allows connections. It allows connections with people that you never would have met. Yeah, the dinos are chilling on Neptune. Oh man. But you know, the internet, it's great because it allows connections like this. We get to talk, without the internet, I can't be on here playing World of Tanks, talking with a person halfway across the world. But at the same time, the internet gives us a lot of really dumb stuff. So much dumb stuff. Oh, this is another lost cause. I just want to get myself one of these Italian autoloaders. They seem like such an interesting gimmick. Reloads faster the less ammo you have in the rack. Unless you fully exhaust it, then you're cooked. This guy's in a terrible spot. But then again, he's also the last guy alive, so, trying to survive. This bro has just wedged himself in. He is going to find a way to take down as many people as possible with him. There he goes. Let's try that again. Yeah. And see, the thing is like, obviously we want, it's really easy to laugh at flat earthers. Obviously in the past it was really, we've learned so much that show it. Because, look at the past. We thought that the world ended and you would just sail off and fall into the ether. And, it's very easy to want to laugh at flat earthers. But in my mind, I'm like, you kind of want to actually, look at them and kind of wonder, what led to them thinking that? What misinformation were they shared? And sometimes you're not going to change people's minds, and you just kind of hope that in the end they just don't keep spreading it. That's kind of the case with a lot of things, It's very easy to laugh at them because it is very ridiculous with modern science. But when you laugh at them, that only encourages them to think that they're right. And that's one thing that's, I think, major too, is it's very easy to laugh at hysterically wrong stuff. But the problem is that when people so deeply believe in something, laughing at them is only going to drive them to further dig in and defend that stance. You gotta, hit them with the facts and logic. You gotta hope that they listen, but sometimes they're not gonna listen, and you're just gonna have to kind of concede and let them think and just hope they don't spread it. You never know. Maybe if you actually took a flat earther into space, they would change their tune. But the thing is that people who are flat earthers aren't exactly the kind of people that, NASA is going to throw up into space. Because obviously there's going to be some people who will never change their opinion. But, sometimes a lived experience is enough to change an opinion. Ouch. I shouldn't be brawling this thing. The Panzer 58 Mutz is not exactly a brawler. Oh, I'm not. Nah, I'm backing up. Yep, I took a nasty hit off the upper glacis because this thing doesn't have great armor. Because that's a VK100, and I'm not about to mess with that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my speed to boogie on out of here. And I'm on fire, and I'm dead. I picked a really bad time to check the standings. That was a really bad timing. Oh, I eat meat. It's really hard to not eat meat after growing up in a Mexican household where a good old carne asada is a classic part of the diet. So I absolutely eat meat. Though if people want to be vegan, I'm 100% understand why, because after all, it's much more sustainable, if I'm being honest. Because after all, the meat industry, especially in the United States, is very unsustainable, very dirty. And if you actually learn about where your beef comes from in the United States, it is genuinely appalling. Because the U.S. has such horrible regulations, like, obviously, obviously there's all the jokes about how the US sucks, but as someone who lives there, I can 100% say the US sucks. It's not a joke, it's terrible. Being vegan has cost depending on where you get your stuff from, because it's a give or take. Because a lot of the companies, because big corporations and capitalism, yeah, they do cause harm, because a lot of corporations that are crazy to jump on the vegan trend will like destroy environments in order to create, the sustainable food. Because the problem is it's like, veganism on paper is a great idea. Just make sure you know where your plants and all that are coming from, because if your plants are coming from a nice and sustainable farm, then you're good. If your plants are coming from a giant plantation that wiped out the environment, you're probably doing just the same damage. Yeah, not wanting to kill... It's really dependent on the circumstances. It's why, it's good to, like, do the research on where your stuff is coming from. Because, yeah, like, again, if you're a vegan and, you're, like, trying not to harm animals, then just make sure that your food's not coming from a plantation that had, like, that was planted there because of, like, mass deforestation, Like, for example, my roommate was mostly vegan, largely because of the fact that, like, they're so badly lactose intolerant, they can't have, like, beef, they can't have shellfish, they can't have dairy, that kind of stuff, right? And so, like, one of the things is that almonds are a big part of, like, the vegan diet. Here in the United States, they grow almonds in places that don't make sense. It's bad for the environment where they're grown in, and that's a harmful thing. Oh, yeah. Like, the US, for example, pesticides were so awful in the past. It took, what was it? I think it was, there was a book that was published during, like, the 1970s, which was, like, I think called, like, Quiet Spring or Quiet Summer. And that book exposed the fact that, like, for example, when we used to use pesticides on everything in the US, that the pesticides weren't only killing the bugs, they were killing, like, everything else in the area. They were causing birds to die, they were causing, the wildlife to die. It was just horrible. But because of the fact that US companies have so much money, they actually tried to stop the book from being published. and even like lied saying, no, these super harmful poisons don't kill anyone or any birds and animals. They're just fine. They only kill the bugs. Even though the research showed that they were awful. And also at the same time, this was during the 70s. This was during the Vietnam War, when the U.S. was also using those companies to create stuff like Agent Orange, you know, the super nasty, dangerous stuff. So those companies were trying to be like, no, we don't kill everything. We only kill bugs. And then they are killing everything. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of reasons to become vegan. It's more sustainable in the long term. You get a lot more energy, all that kind of stuff. But just like with anything, you gotta learn where it's coming from. In the U.S., that's a little bit harder to a degree because in the U.S., big corporations and the lack of government regulation makes it kind of hard to do that research because big corporations will try to hide it. They'll put out like fake research that says it's good, that kind of stuff. Because you're Croatian. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to the U.S. But like regulations here are horrible compared to the European Union. For example, a bottle of Mountain Dew here in the U.S. would be illegal in the European Union because in the U.S. the regulations are so lax that the chemicals that are illegal in the European Union are 100% legal here to be put in soda, especially Mountain Dew. That's like a major example of like how that's like an easy example of like how vastly different regulations are in the US versus like European countries, especially in the European Union. The European Union does a lot of stuff that helps make it safer and better to be a consumer. Here in the US, it is like everything you have to kind of scrutinize because you're like, is this actually good for me? Or is it just like going to be like taste great but actually be one of the nastiest things imaginable for your body? It's a very interesting dichotomy. But that's what happens when you're in the US where regulations are super... the regulations here are super lax because the government is super beholden to corporate interests, because yippee capitalism. Because like in the U.S. here, it's so funny enough is that like literally only a couple days ago, the Supreme Court, which is supposed to set the tone on a lot of stuff, literally said that bribery is okay. It's okay to bribe politicians as long as the money you pay them happens after they did the thing you wanted them to do. So people wonder why American politicians are all people you never trust. It's such a mess. And that's like, obviously I say, again, Europe has a lot of problems. Every country has a lot of problems. But I do envy Europe in some ways. Because for crying out loud, the European Union's just happy to go after Apple. Meanwhile, the US refuses to even touch Apple unless, like, it gets revealed to, like, through a whistleblower that, like, Apple's been secretly stealing your tax information. Coke is less expensive than a bottle. Honestly, I think that is actually accurate to a degree. I think a bottle of Coke at my local store is like $2, and then a bottle of water is like $3. And the way they do it, the way they justify it is they make it where the bottle is bigger, so you're technically getting more for what you paid for. But the problem is like, if someone's thirsty, they're still going to buy the Coke because it's cheaper than the water. And also, like, water is just, it's ridiculous. Yeah, because, like, how everyone jokes about, like, it's so messed up. It's also because the thing is that the companies that sell bottled water, right, they're the same companies that make Coca-Cola or Pepsi. And Pepsi and Coke are the stuff that those companies are more known for, and that's the stuff that they want to sell you. So why would it make sense in a business sense to make water, the healthy option that doesn't taste good, cheaper than the thing you want everyone to drink and you want them to be addicted to? Because, for example, Coca-Cola in the US still has caffeine in it. And we know, and you know, everyone knows caffeine is addictive. Even though, like, out of all the things to be addicted to, it's probably not the worst thing to be addicted to, but it's still addictive. So, like, Coca-Cola is like something that they want you to get hooked on. So when you say water tastes good, Shaz, that's because in the U.S., water regulations are laughably bad also. In the U.S., there's like a bare minimum water quality, and that water quality is not that great. And depending on which state, because every state runs it a little bit differently, some states, the water quality in certain areas, you have to still like boil it. And like I'm sure you've heard of like the Flint, Michigan crisis, because that was like major headline news, especially here, but it might not have been in Europe. But essentially, another major problem is that U.S. cities don't have to do the water stuff themselves. They are totally able to like sell the rights to control their water to like a company, and that's what happened in Flint, Michigan. They sold their water utilities to a private company. The private company rerouted the water, and the water source they rerouted to ended up being full of just nasty chemicals that literally, I think it was like full of lead and such. So like it was literally harming people and kids. And I think still to this day, a lot of places in Flint, Michigan still have to drink bottled water because the water for their from their sink and their faucets is so like dangerous to them unless they boil it like 5 times. Yeah, for us here, I don't know. Have you ever heard of a Brita, like a Brita filter? So here in the U.S., Brita filters are an actual business because, again, the water quality is so bad depending on where you live that you need to filter your water before it actually tastes good. Like, it is so hilariously bad here. Where I'm at, it's not the worst. I've certainly been in places that have had worse water, but it's worse than where I used to live. Because where I used to live, it was like, okay, there's a little bit of an aftertaste. Here, when you pour the water into like a filter or something, it's just the cloudiest water because of all the junk that's in there. It's still technically drinkable, but it's going to taste awful, and there's probably a bunch of junk in there you still don't want to drink. Why is that? Because American regulations are awful. Yeah. Like, I wish I could just, like, fill up a pitcher and throw it into the thing, but I have to literally have a pitcher. I have a jug, right? But I have a filter on it, so that way, that way I can actually have good water after a little bit. You have to pay for the water used. Yeah, you still have to pay for water here. It's super cheap, but that's because, again, it's like so poorly, like, it's such bad quality. It's terrible quality, and also, like, the companies are, you know, doing all sorts of things that it's cheap, but the cost is in the long term. Because, like, for example, the water isn't that great of quality, so, like, if you have old pipes, they're probably going to be a problem soon. You know, like that's like one of the biggest fallacies. Ooh, bounce that shot. Is like in the U.S., right? People are like, "Oh, it's so expensive to live here, or it's so expensive to live there." But like, the quality of life is better. You know, I lived in California, which is a state that everyone loves to joke about as being like, you know, it's way too expensive and all that stuff. But the quality of life wasn't too bad. Now I'm in Arizona, which is a super conservative state, and it's cheaper to live here on paper because you have to pay for all sorts of other things. You have terrible infrastructure. It's terrible to, you know, go anywhere without a car because the infrastructure is all based on cars. We don't have a good bus system. Public transit sucks. The water quality is terrible. The education here is exceptionally awful. Like, the education in Arizona is like the third worst out of the 50 United States. It's really bad. You know, there's a lot of problems. You know, it's like it's cheaper, but then you're paying more for everything else in reality because you have to make up for everything wrong. So that's another fun part of the American experience. Yippee. I will also say I'm pretty sure this is going to be my last battle, win or lose. Hopefully win, because I'd rather not have another loss to end the day, but definitely think I'm going to be wrapping things up here once this battle ends. Just to kind of wrap it up, because it's been a good stream, 3 hours, getting closer to 4 hours. Definitely taken a bit of a turn that I wasn't expecting, but I'm not exactly opposed to it, to be honest. Your phone got that Uber charge going. Can't wait for you to like turn it on in like 5 minutes and it's actually dropped to like 60%. It's been lying to you the entire time. That would be really funny, but also really sucky, if just your battery dropped that fast. Now, where's this rain they said was going to go? There's lightning in the region. See, there's storms all over the place. I want some rain, dang it. I want to be able to just listen to a thunderstorm outside my window. This one is still, to a degree, winnable. I don't know exactly how winnable. Down by 3. Still 100%, or at 99.59, whatever, still 100. Closer to 100 than 99. That is a hysterically good charge. We love when our devices are charging well and holding charges. However, this one looks like this game is absolutely over. I don't see us getting a dub here. So all we got is this one artillery and this one heavy tank just bracing themselves in this sink. But when you get to the 99, you just end up to 39 in like an hour. Yeah, it's probably gonna just drain so much faster after that 99 mark. And there we go. Match officially in L. Alright. OP 67 watt charger. Nice. Those good, powerful chargers. Oh boy, stage 71. Alright, so now that all of that was done, let's see. So we're now at stage 72. Some pretty good progress was made today, with 22 days left, still not too far away. And I'm actually almost to the motherland, which in itself is a major dub. Only 3 more stages to complete. Challenge-wise, I still need 4 more battles with over 1,000 damage, but I still have until the reset on Tuesday to do that, so I'll probably play tomorrow to try and get that. Season challenges are fine, and then the contract, 20,000 out of 79,000 is pretty good for what I got through today. 58 out of 230 penetrations, that's pretty good as well. Charges from 0 to 100 in like an hour. I do have a phone that charges pretty quickly, almost as fast as that, but just a little bit short. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up here for the day. A good, almost 4 hours of World of Tanks. One where I had a good bit of fun experimenting with some more vehicles and actually getting the farthest through my rotation I've had in a bit, because this was the first time actually I was playing with the Panzer 58 Mutz, which was pretty fun. I will say, once again, we're going to have a stream on this coming Wednesday. That's going to be at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. We're going to be kicking off the Assassin's Creed 2 series that I mentioned that will be starting on Wednesday. That's the next of the single-player series games I'm going to be going through, hopefully to start getting my way through the Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy, which should be fun in that regard. Once again, though, I will not be having a stream next Sunday. Going to be moving. Going to be a very, very busy day, so not going to have the time to do, a stream. Not going to have the energy. But then we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another stream. More than likely by then I'll be done with the World of Tanks Battle Pass, and I would dare say that next stream will probably maybe be something like X Defiant or the new season of Overwatch that just came out. I'll be starting it a little bit later than expected, but we'll see about that. However, once again, thank you all for joining. I'll see you on Wednesday night for some Assassin's Creed 2. Have a good one. Take care, stay safe, all that good stuff, and see you around.